So here are 3 tips that are going to help you hit better topspin forehands. Now to help me demonstrate, I've got the Topspin Pro. Use my link, it's in the description. I'm also going to pin it in the first comment to get your own. Here I am on a gorgeous afternoon in my driveway practicing my forehand and showing you how you can practice as well. All right, 3 tips. Number 1, make sure you're using a circular swing to build racket speed and that the bottom of that circle is lower than contact. You see a lot of players, they'll use a circular swing, but then they'll flatten out the bottom and go straight into the back of the ball. So film yourself and make sure that the bottom of the circle is below contact, then you're going back up to the ball. So I'll just hit some forehands here and just watch how I'm drawing a circular swing and the bottom of the swing is lower than the ball, and then I go up through contact. The circular swing also helps you build racket speed. Spin craves speed. So when you are spinning the ball or desiring to spin the ball, when you're swinging fast, that's when that spin really takes hold because there's enough RPM and the ball's got enough speed going over the net that it really bites and kicks and just great stuff happens and your opponents hate it. Here's the second idea. We talked about getting below the ball at the bottom of the C. You have to make sure that your strings are tilted down at this point. This is one of the missing ingredients for players. When they get below the ball, then they go up to contact and their racket face is wide open. And they think, well, dropping below the ball didn't work. I guess I'll flatten out the swing and go straight into the back. Tilting your strings down toward the ground as if I had a mirror and I'm reflecting the ground on the way to contact ensures that when I go up to the ball, my strings are facing forward over the net. The one thing about the Topspin Pro is it's tilted at about 10 degrees, right? You can actually get away with, if you swing really fast, having your strings ever so slightly closed as you strike the ball. Now, you're not flipping a pancake on the stove. You're not doing this to close off the racket face. The racket face is closed all the way until contact and even sometimes after contact. So it's okay to have the top edge in front, and I would say it's basically necessary if you're swinging really fast. I know I mentioned, and people in the comment section talk about this all the time, they'll say, hey Ryan, I thought, I love like the keyboard warriors, I thought that the ball goes where the strings point, gotcha. I'm like, okay, so just because there's a rule doesn't mean that there aren't exceptions to those rules. The idea that the ball goes where the strings point is basically 95% right. There's of course incidence and reflection, there's drag and pressure and friction of the ball coming up off your racket, even if the strings are slightly closed. By the way, that's why you want enough racket speed from the circular swing that even with your racket face closed, as you're striking from low to high, it still drags the ball up over the net. But the idea that the ball goes where the strings point is basically 95% correct. If you swing fast enough and you have a little bit of tilt on the racket, that ball is still going to go up over the net, and man, the type of spin you can get is incredible. Here's the last one. This is a little old school. I'll probably hear it from all the people saying, Ryan, this isn't 1978. Try swinging up more than you normally do after contact. Try going this way, that after you hit the ball, the racket should go up. A question I'll ask students is, I'll have them shadow swing and put their racket at contact, and then I'll ask them to move their racket 12 inches. And they'll say, well, what do you mean? I'm like, well, stop here and now move your racket 12 inches. Let me show you this from the side. It'll make a little more sense. They'll put the racket at contact and they'll say, okay, move the racket 1 foot, 12 inches, and they go like this. It's very telling because their brain's like, wait, which direction is it going to go? It should be going forward and up. After you hit the tennis ball, think of going up after you hit. I mean, the ball spins the opposite direction you swing. So if you're swinging up, the ball's going to spin down and curve down. So really try that. Really try going up with your swing to send that ball up, but then you're going to have the spin that brings that ball down. Remember, get yourself a Topspin Pro. Link is in the description and pinned in the first comment. Use the circular swing. Get your racket below the ball, close your racket face, and make sure you're swinging up. Like after contact, really go up. I mean, if you think about Nadal, he puts his racket up above his head. He's got, more topspin than anyone in the world. Those tips are really going to help you get better topspin on the forehand. Now, if you're looking for new people in your local area to play matches against or practice with, or if you want to find a coach who's close to you who can help you with your game, then use my link for PlayYourCourt, and it's playyourcourt.com/2minutetennis. When you use my link to sign up, you get 50% off. Work on, in your driveway, with your Topspin Pro, filming yourself on these 3 ideas. If you do, there's no doubt You're going to gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.